everyone. It's time to sit back, relax, grab a pink beverage.
I didn't get that memo.
And listen to the sounds of us whispering sweet covfefes into your ear.
Do we have to whisper?
No, we might talk normal voiced.
We're gonna yell sweet covfefes into your ear.
And the covfefes we're talking about were live. Smackdown and 205.
Them to be the ones. Because this is Tuesday Night Live.
Yeah.
That's how that works. We open up SmackDown with Kevin Owens' highlight reel once again. This devolved real quick. Because essentially his guest was Shinsuke, and then he talked some trash about Shinsuke, and then Baron Corbin came out, and then Baron Corbin and both Kevin Owens decided that they just wanted to beat up Shinsuke.
Well, I like the first part, the best part of this whole segment was Baron Corbin comes out to talk about how proud he was of beating up Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Owens jumped in and he's like, "Oh yeah, good for you. You beat up Sami Zayn for a few minutes. I've been doing it for 15 years. You're not special."
And speaking of Sami Zayn, he ended up coming out and saving Shinsuke. And then because he wasn't done with Baron Corbin and he'll never be done with Kevin Owens, he decided to make a tag team match. And apparently Shane was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because we came back from commercial and we had Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn.
It was a good match.
It was.
I
It was
enjoyed
a good opening match. It sets up some good tension for Money in the Bank, since all four of these guys are in it. And eventually, it got to the undoing of the match was the fact that Owens and Corbin don't even really like each other, because Corbin was face forward in the corner, and Sammy tosses Kevin Owens into Baron Corbin. So Corbin turns around and sees that Owens has run into him. He's like, "The hell is your problem? What is wrong?" And then they do a little shoving match, which ends up with Baron Corbin, who's well versed in boxing, just knocking Kevin Owens on his ass. Yeah. Sami Zayn runs across the ring, cactus clotheslines himself and Baron Corbin out of the ring, and then Kevin Owens was left to get hit with a Kinshasa, and Shinsuke Nakamura picks up the win. And now we're going to be having a singles match between Shinsuke and Kevin Owens next week on SmackDown.
Yeah, for the first time ever on SmackDown Live.
What?
Say, huh?
Say yeah? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Talking about the Usos. Tag team, but not the Revival. That's all wrong.
Usos ain't my boys.
Usos came out, talked about how everyone looks a little let down in the SmackDown.
A little salty.
A little angry because they thought American Alpha was going to beat him and that didn't happen. And they thought Breezango was going to beat him and that didn't happen. And they are still the tag team champions. And there's no one that can challenge them except...
Essentially, they called the crowd a bunch of crackers.
There might be someone worth of contention. I don't know if there's someone who's like longest reigning tag champions in, I don't know, WWE history? Like the New Day making their first appearance. That's it?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's all you get.
Thanks, little E. White E.
Don't call me a cracker because I'm white. Call me a cracker because I'm basic and salty.
Anyway, the New Day, officially making their SmackDown Live debut since being drafted over during the shakeup. And
Xavier Woods, Big E, and
Covefefe Kingston. Essentially letting the Usos know that, they know Shane McMahon and they've talked to Shane McMahon, and the Usos will be defending their SmackDown Tag Team titles against the New Day at Money in the Bank.
Wow, New Day. Just decided to come in and pull a Hardys?
Well...
Over on SmackDown?
I mean, when you're the longest reigning tag champs, you kind of got some pull.
Yeah, except for, I'm going to be honest here. what was the last time we've seen the New Day? They lost like twice in a row to the Revival.
That was on Raw. That's not on SmackDown.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, okay, I understand if, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that Kofi got hurt.
Yeah.
They didn't have time to run the angle and have the New Day beat the Revival in the long haul. But literally, the New Day is coming back after being gone, but even before that, they lost. And now they get a title shot. It's about as sensical as Roman Reigns getting 8 title shots in a row.
New Day makes more sense to me because they have something to show for it, and they've beat every tag team on SmackDown already.
Pretty much. They haven't beat American Alpha.
True.
I really want to see New Day versus American
apparently, one of them is injured right now, which is why they've been kept off of TV. I think it's Gable. I think Gable's hurt, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so the New Day will be getting their next tag team title shot against the Usos.
They should just have. If Gable's injured, they should just have Jason Jordan go to Raw and Scott Dawson come to SmackDown. Just have Jason Jordan and Scott Dawson team with each other on SmackDown and Raw.
Rev Alpha?
Yeah.
Alright.
Rev Alpha.
American Revival.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Alright. Speaking of tag teams, continuing on, the tag team that unfortunately was not able to defeat the Usos, Breezango, Fashion Police.
All the other teams.
On a little bit of a... they're not on the hashtag winning train currently.
No.
And they're a little down on their luck. Fandango, ends up seeing that someone's broken in and destroyed the office.
And it wasn't an ugly beast.
Nope.
It was Tyler Breeze and Drag.
The weirdest part of this is like he sees the silhouette on the wall, and it's like it's absolutely a woman, and I'm pretty sure it was either Lana or Summer Rae, one of the two. But then it like pans back over and he pulls out a squirt gun, and then it ends up being Tyler Breeze and Drag. And they put together with the fact that there is cologne, not the fact that it's made with hibiscus, but that it's
or tree frog
cologne,
or whatever they said.
That the colognes must have been the reason that the Fashion Police office was destroyed. We ended up having a match between those two teams later on in the show, which was just more ridiculousness on the part of Breezango.
Yeah. Tyler Breeze transforming back into the janitor.
Yep.
Mid-match.
Carl the janitor.
Is his name Carl?
Yep, his name is Carl. And then there's Grandma Susan. Carl the janitor. I'm not sure what the woman's name is that he was dressed as at the beginning of the match is. She hasn't been named yet. But yeah.
Tiffany. It's going to be Tiffany.
With the help of the janitor and the mop, which Primo and Fandango ended up fighting over. Fandango ends up letting go of the mop. Primo turns around into an Unprettier from Tyler Breeze. And Fandango and Tyler Breeze pick up another tag team win.
Yeah.
Then what was supposed to be our fatal 5-way elimination match to determine who would face Naomi at Money in the Bank turned
Thank you,
into
Charlotte, by the way. She thinks the name Fatal 5-Way is stupid.
Is that what she said? I didn't pay attention.
No, but she happened to go out of her way to make sure to call it a 5-way elimination match, rather than calling it a Fatal 5-Way.
Good job, Charlotte.
I'm only just assuming it's because she thinks the name Fatal 5-Way is stupid.
You should tweet her and find out if she thinks it's stupid.
I will. Never do that, actually.
But this match never got started because
Because it got started.
But it didn't get started.
Yeah, because it got started.
Shit got started.
Yeah.
Because they beat the fuck out of each other for a good 5 or 6 minutes.
The ladies decided to take all the bumps on the outside.
Including Charlotte powerbombing Natalya through the commentator table. And every single woman wanted to clear something off of the table before it
Yeah.
got broken.
To the point where there was nothing left but papers, and so Charlotte was just like, ugh, to like 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah. And essentially,
Tamina did all the hard work.
Essentially, everyone is just down and busted and broken, and Shane comes out and goes, "This is awesome! I love that you guys are doing this, but unfortunately, you never let the match get started. So now what do we do? Now we don't have someone to face Naomi at Money in the Bank, so
So we're not going to have Naomi in Money in the Bank.
nope. I don't know. Are they just gonna... We've got ourselves a woman's Money in the Bank, which is awesome.
Yes.
But
they watched our review from last week when I got so mad that this was not happening.
Yeah.
But they changed their minds.
Yeah, and that's I mean, you don't want to unleash the equal opportunity hate machine, because bad things happen. But are they going to add Naomi in, or is
because it's a Money in the Bank match? You don't put the champion in the Money in the Bank match.
But the championship has been on the line in Money in the Bank ladder matches before.
Yeah, but it's not a Money in the Bank match. If the championship is what's on the line, it's just a ladder match for the title.
But it's at Money in the Bank, so it makes it a Money in the Bank ladder match. Because it's a ladder match at Money in the Bank.
Yes, but they're saying that this is a women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Meaning the woman will have a Money in the Bank briefcase.
So Naomi's not going to defend the title.
No.
Because there's no one else. That's stupid.
Yeah. My theory...
Just add Naomi to the match.
My theory on why this is happening is I still don't... I mean, I know this is a long way out, but I still don't think Naomi's 100%.
She looked pretty good at WrestleMania.
She did. But look past WrestleMania...
Her match against Charlotte was good.
And realize the match against Charlotte was decent, but it got interrupted.
Yeah.
Everything else from that, after that, has been a tag team match or a match involving multiple people where she doesn't have to work the whole match by herself and she's not defending the title at this pay-per-view. I think they're giving her more time to recuperate.
Put her in the match. That's all. I'm just gonna say that.
But not if she's injured. Cause
No. Just
then don't.
because bad things happen, like Tommaso Ciampa having a torn ACL and still working a ladder match.
Yeah.
Psycho killer. Anyway, that should, regardless, if it's 5 or 6 women, it's gonna be fun watching these ladies kick each other's ass in a ladder match.
Right, you know, let's have that where Lana debuts. That would suck so hard for Lana though.
Yeah.
She comes out for her first match on Smackdown and she gets dropped on a ladder.
Yeah. I
Sorry,
can't.
Lana.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Anyway, we had a really awkward interview between Renee and AJ Styles, which Dolph Ziggler came in and gave AJ a couple of stupid nicknames, and then AJ took his shirt off, and then Dolph walked away. They're the main event. And then we also had Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. Again, Randy not...
This was Randy cutting a promo, and then being interrupted by Jinder Mahal, which just seemed like it was an obviously pre-recorded thing, because there was no actual interaction between Randy and Jinder. It was just Randy staring while Jinder talked.
And then the video just ends.
And it faded out. Not even
Did it really?
It didn't cut. It actually had a fade out.
Well,
they made it on Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
Check out this effect.
So yeah, it's just them not being in the ring together, just talking trash and
And then Orton, rather reacting to what Jinder said, Orton just got up on the ropes and posed.
This is how Randy says "fuck you," unless he's actually yelling "fuck you" at you, which he's done before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we had our main event.
you to a swimming pool.
Yes, like his stepkids. And then we had our main event: Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles, which was pretty fucking good.
It was.
Dolph, finally giving me something to give a shit about, beating AJ Styles.
Well, it's because it wasn't the 9th week in a row of him coming out and cutting an agonizingly slow promo.
That's fair.
not having a match.
Yes. I mean, very much in the same way that we got, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins last night, and then the triple threat match. Seeing these little bits makes me excited to see what these two are going to be capable of in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
AJ ended up trying to go for the phenomenal forearm, got crotched on the top rope, and then as he fell back in the ring and got back up, he got super kicked in the side of the head, and Dolph Ziggler just straight up beat AJ Styles.
Yeah. Shocked the shit out of me.
Yeah, no. It's been a while since I've seen that look on his face. He just kind of stared at the TV for like a couple of seconds and went, Dolph! Christopher!
No, actually it was Smackdown!
Yeah, no, it was, I didn't expect it.
Smackdown giving me all the Covefefes.
All the Covefefes. Such a weird word. But yeah, that was it.
I'm just going to keep using it
I know
until I find it where it fits.
That's fine. That was it for SmackDown. Let's move on to 205 Live. The go-home 205 Live, 2 Extreme Rules, building up the 2 cruiserweight-based matches that we have set.
1.5 cruiserweight-based matches.
The 1.5 cruiserweight matches. Starting
just
with the
kind of
first.
like we have a 1.5 women-based matches.
Yeah. Starting with the first, where they made a big deal about how this was going to be Sasha's first time on 205 Live.
Yep.
So I assumed it was going to be Rick Swann and Sasha Banks having a promo, but instead Noam Dar and Alicia Fox had the promo, and then they were interrupted by Rick Swann and Sasha Banks.
Yeah. In sparkly outfits.
Yeah. Sasha, all the sparkles.
Yeah, she had a big sparkle onesie on, and Rich Swann had his sparkly prom coat.
And they talked
Looking real Covefefe.
They talked a bunch of trash, and this led into Noam Dar versus Rich Swann again, which we just got last night on Raw. We could have done without that. The fight on the outside.
I like the chemistry Noam Dar and Rich Swann have.
I do too, but I don't need the match 2 nights in a row.
No.
It's like having a rematch from a pay-per-view. I watched the pay-per-view because I wanted that match. I'm not watching 205 Live because I want to see the same match I saw on Raw.
But it's Raw, so they like to repeat themselves.
That's true. But Noam Dar ended up picking up the win this time, so there is a little bit of a difference. Because Sasha and...
the biggest difference is in this match, there was just a lot of yelling.
Everybody was screaming.
Like, all the cells were just like...
So much...
Everybody was like... Noam Dar was like stomping and kicking and bending Rich Swann's arm, but Rich Swann was reacting as if like he was being slowly stabbed to death in the kidneys.
And then Alicia's just out there being crazy and screaming because that's what Alicia does. And what the other thing Alicia does is trip Rich Swann, which caused Sasha Banks to walk over, and they start world starring on each other.
They smashed the bald.
And
but not like all the way.
No,
just like 4% bald.
Yeah, not even. That's being generous. Still
2%. Skim bald.
She pulled out a little bit of Alicia Fox's weave, and it was enough distraction to where Rich Swann, unfortunately, didn't realize, oh shit, I'm still in a match, and then got kicked in the face by Noam Dar. Noam Dar picks up the win. So now they're like, I don't even know, they've wrestled each other a lot. I don't know what the current tally is as far as their win-loss record.
And shout out to Noam Dar's no hands ninja pose.
It is kind of cool.
Because he kind of like rolled out of the corner that way.
Yeah.
Because like Swann had him in the corner, like tried to throw him out of the corner, and he just kind of like tumbled and landed in that position while Rich Swann was watching 2 hot chicks fight each other.
Like you do.
And then Noam just like, I'm going to sit here looking like an angry triangle.
And then kick him in the face.
Yeah.
And then Dasha tried to like, hey, Cedric, welcome back to 205 Live. What do you think about your ex-girlfriend and Noam Dar feuding? And Cedric's like, I don't give a fuck.
And then he's like, I have a huge opportunity coming up.
Yeah.
When I have to face one half of this team that's jobbed kind of on NXT a few times.
Think about like last night on Raw, we had Elias Sampson versus Zach Evans.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. But then you have Cedric Alexander versus Corey Hollis.
I know, Corey Hollis, one of the biggest stars in NXT history.
Oof. He really is.
Yeah.
I mean, his partner unfortunately just got left in Ring of Honor and was in like one of the biggest tournaments of the year. But Corey Hollis, moving over to 205 Live.
Yeah, don't forget both of these guys were in the tag team Apocalypto.
The what?
The Hardy Gauntlet of tag teams on their property over on the Owl Wrestling.
Fuck that Owl.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? I'm gonna give that one a pass because it had the Rock and Roll Express.
I didn't watch that's like the one big Hardy TNA thing that I didn't actually watch. Cedric Alexander defeated Corey Hollis, though Corey Hollis did get some pretty good offense.
Yeah.
He
got way more offense than Zach Evans did against Elias Sampson.
Well, I mean, he did have the injury to target where Elias Sampson didn't really have anything for Zach Evans to go after.
Except for his dumbness.
Wait. Unless Zach Evans can sing better than Elias Sampson.
Probably.
I don't know.
Elias Sampson's kind of shitty at singing, too.
I've heard worse. But Corey Hollis, despite being able to take out the leg and do a little offense to Cedric Alexander, he did end up getting all of the greatest hits of Cedric Alexander, including the lumbar check, which Alexander won the match with.
Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about.
Hmm?
But William Hung is retired, right?
Well, when I still hear she bang occasionally, he's never fully retired.
Oh yeah, I mean he is. He's like, he works some fancy science job now.
He's a scientist?
Or a cop, I don't remember one of the two.
Does he study Covefefe?
He is a science cop.
A science Covefefe.
Science Covefefe.
That's what a science cop is, a Covefefe.
No. I don't think so.
Our main event match was Drew Gulak versus Mustafa Ali, which started with Mustafa Ali sitting on Drew Gulak's face.
And not in a sexy way.
No. Gulak had his sign in one hand, megaphone in the other, and Mustafa Ali's ass in his face.
It was like a TKO bag.
We came up with a few different balls to face puns as far as knocking Drew Gulak out, because it looked like Drew Gulak was out on his feet for the good the first 5 minutes of the match or so. He was a little wobbly, saying random shit and just kind of like pretending like he knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah, then he knocked Mustafa off the top rope onto the apron and then started winning.
Yes. And then Gulak, being Gulak, just went on a fucking tear.
Yeah.
Just being super aggressive.
As he does.
Some nasty shots. And Mustafa was giving them back, though. These two feel like they actually, legitimately dislike each other based on,
They probably do.
Well, I don't know. Drew Gulak doesn't seem like the kind of guy who, would, go out of his way to, not like someone. I feel like he just...
No, but Mustafa Ali's an ass.
What, you know things about Mustafa?
Maybe. Not really. All I know is I like to make fun of the time that he knocked himself out on accident. Over at AAW.
Well, that was Prince Ali. That was a different person. Drew Gulak did end up picking up the win against Mustafa Ali.
Into that magic carpet ride.
A very, I didn't expect this to be what he went with, but Mustafa hits a pretty nice crossbody, and Gulak just back rolls with it and pins Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. It's momentum. Drew Gulak studying the laws of physics for a better 205 Live.
And also hugging babies on his Instagram.
Yeah.
I hope that picture just showed up because it's funny.
Drew Gulak is so Covefefe.
Do you know what Covefefe means yet?
Nope.
You've used it in about 8 different contexts, and I'm not sure any of them are right. I know the ones I said aren't right.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the closest to correct context.
Covefefe Kingston.
No.
Ah, damn.
That's it for our Covefefe of both SmackDown and 205 Live.
Well, not quite, because then we had the Neville and
Well,
Austin Aries thing.
that was not worth talking about.
Neville beat down Austin Aries. That is it for SmackDown Live and 205 Live. That is it for Tuesday Night Live. Thanks for watching, guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Click the links down in the description.
There's a lot of links.
Check out that podcast.
That's one of the links.
Check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
That's reasonable with a W, not like Covefefe.
But
Like wrestling.
where you can see the most recent punishment video of me getting chopped by the role models.
Yeah.
Very, very soon.
Wow.
Very, very soon.
How's it feel?
It's better today. There's still
tender?
There's still a little bit of bruising. Don't touch it.
Can I touch it?
No, don't touch it.
Can I chop it?
I'm gonna chop you if you chop me. Chops are done, sir. You will be eating a pizza very, very soon. As soon as we were able to shoot that video. Along with other stuff showing up over on Reasonable Wrestling Fans. Get ready for it. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. Fuck Covefefe.
Why?
I don't know. We've used it in every other context possible. I feel like it needed to be angry.
But there's no way that it could be a synonym for either Mojo Rawley or Titus O'Neil.
Came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Or his fingers, I guess. Sausage fingers.
Fuck.